Hello and welcome to this no damage walkthrough of Silent Hill 3, played on PC. We're going to be playing a new game on Extreme X action level and hard riddle level, and these are the hardest difficulties available in the game.
Where am I?
Since we are playing a new game and not an extra new game, we have to play through the nightmare sequence. Very similar to the first Silent Hill. There's a nightmare sequence that you play through on a new game only. And this is very similar to the actual amusement park sequence later in the game, with some slight differences. Of course, we can die at any point and we'll wake up in the mall and continue normally, but since this is a no damage run, we're going to get through it to the end without getting hit. This part here is probably the only part you need to watch out for. If you're not quick enough through this section, that pendulum off to the side there will rise, and it may get up here before you do, and if it does, it will slice you. So just be quick, and that will not be an issue. And just be careful moving along these tracks, because if you touch the edges, you can fall. If you do touch them, be sure to push backwards on the analog stick, otherwise you may fall forward to your death.
What a nightmare. Dad, it's me. Yeah. Sorry I didn't call sooner. Yeah, I guess I was. Anyway, I'm coming home now. Oh, I didn't get that thing you asked me to. Okay. Okay, I will. I love you too, Dad.
Heather, I need to speak with you. My name is Douglas Cartland. I'm a detective.
A detective? Really? Well, nice talking to you.
Hold on. There's someone that wants to meet you. Just let me have an hour. No, half an hour of your time.
My daddy always told me not to talk to strangers.
This is very important. It's about your birth.
I'm not interested. Are you still following me? Do I have to scream?
Sorry. I'll wait here.
So when it comes to no damage runs in Silent Hill 3, there's an important distinction to make between New Game and Extra New Game, which functions as a New Game Plus. In addition to several unlockables, Extra New Game modifies a few hallways in the underpass after the subway to appear all bloodified, and these hallways will inflict unavoidable AoE damage on hard and extreme action levels. It won't actually kill you, but it will bring your HP to 1, and it will be recorded as damage points on the in-ranking screen. So because of that, it is not actually possible to do a no damage run on hard or any extreme difficulty while playing Extra New Game. And that is, at least in part, one of perhaps multiple reasons why we're doing this run on a fresh new game.
Stay back! Get the hell away from me! What the hell is this thing?
For some early trivia, that was actually Angela's character model being chomped on there by the closer from Silent Hill 2. Just repurposed and recolored, of course. Map for them all is on the bulletin board there, and don't forget the first box of ammo after Heather kills the closer. So for the first numb body, my strategy is generally to go along one wall and then cut directly in front of it and then straighten up and go past it. If you try to go past numb bodies in a straight line with, high level of predictability, they will almost always see you coming and bash you. So try your best to kind of, at least my strategy is I go one way and then cut around them at the last second. And there I was kind of, deer caught in headlights because I did not expect that numb body to be so close to the door immediately, so I didn't really even get to do what I wanted to do. Luckily, when that happens, they don't really aggro to you or attack you immediately upon entering, a room or hallway, so you're kind of fortunate if that happens. But my strat for that part is usually just do the same thing of going to one side and then cutting back in front of it at the last second. And there is a dog and some jerky 2 rooms before this on the right side that I used to go and collect that jerky on some of my runs before this, but it's not really needed, that jerky, at all, and it's just there is some small level of risk in that dog biting you. First save point, because there's more numb bodies that are going to appear outside in the hallway, and I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I'm going to go wide against the wall to get past that one, cut back in front of this one, then cut to the other side against the other one. Just back and forth, that's how I get past numb bodies, and it's a fairly reliable strategy. It's not always going to work, sometimes they're going to hit you anyway, and luckily that last one is, not really paying attention to us until it's too late. And closers in general are just, frankly, useless enemies, so they're never really a threat, unless they're possibly blocking a hallway or something. That's the only case where they can pose any threat whatsoever. And the code for this keypad is always 8352 on hard Riddle level, every time.
Hey, wait, what's going on? Where is everybody? Those weird monsters?
They've come to witness the beginning. The rebirth of paradise. despoiled by mankind.
What are you talking about?
Don't you know? Your power is needed.
How should I know?
I am Claudia.
So what?
Remember me, and your true self as well. Also, that which you must become. The one who will lead us to paradise with blood-stained hands.
Claudia, right? Did you do all this?
It was the hand of God.
I don't get it. What does she want me to remember?
So you may have noticed that Claudia actually got a bit of a glow up there because I'm using a mod from Nexus Mods. She got her eyebrows back too, in fact. Heather is also modded using the Silent Hill Revelation movie outfit. Not because I think it's a good movie or anything, I think it actually fucking sucks, but I don't know, I like the outfit. It's simple, but looks really nice. I'll put links to the mods in the description so you can check them out if you're interested. And as a side note, Heather gets a red radio here, just like her father Harry Mason does in the original Silent Hill. Neat.
Is this a dream? It's gotta be. Not even a kid could believe in this. But when am I going to let go?
By the way, just like my Silent Hill 2 run, I skipped all the cutscenes when I was doing this run live at the moment, and then edited them back in, because I think they bring a lot more value being in here, and it kind of, you know, makes the run, you know, a lot more cinematic, so I kind of like having them back in here. So there's a save point in here, but we kind of just saved, and there's not really much, you know, much risk the next portion here, so we're just going to keep on going. Some supplies in that room, though, if you need them. Some more useless closers. We're going to find the flashlight between these boxes here. Easy to turn off the lights and see it, but you don't need to if you know where it is. And do not forget the bleach in the women's locker room, which we will need in a moment here. Flashlight off because there's dogs in here which are howling. And be sure to grab the bulletproof vest over here, which I don't think we use in this run, but there's at least 2 or 3 areas where it can be helpful for different strategies. And the dogs actually despawn after you come back out of there. I don't know why. Very odd. And just like Silent 2, we're going to have the flashlight off, you know, in hallways to run past enemies just a bit more easily. It just gives us more time and space. It gives us more time before the creature will be fully aggroed to us. Works very well on dogs. They won't even howl and even know you're there until, you know, you're basically right beside them in many cases. Before we explore on the second floor, we're going to just quickly head up to the third floor to grab the cooked key from the barbecue dog. And just keep note that that closer there does start to aggro towards you and come towards the escalator, which is not a factor now, but it may play in, play into things later when we get ready to fight the split worm. So just keep in mind, like, I came up this escalator, so it will approach this side of the escalator. So next time I come up here, it may be blocking that side of the escalator. So you may want to go up the other side to, avoid that being an issue. I wouldn't even say that's an important save point to use. Like, in hindsight, I probably should have just waited until the next one if I wanted to keep saves to a minimum, which I wasn't really trying to do, but didn't want to save every 2 seconds or anything. We're going to grab the steel pipe here, which we're going to equip right away because we're going to be using it when we return to this room because it's going to be full of numb bodies. It's probably one of the first real tricky, at least combat encounters of the game. And in the nightmare version of the bakery, we get the detergent, which we'll be combining with the bleach very briefly here in the next hallway. So we're going to combine those items here, and this is only necessary on hard and normal riddle levels. Turn the fan on so we can go back in and clear the chemicals. And the reason why we did that, as you can see, is to clear the hallway of those bugs which block the hallway. And that only happens on hard and normal riddle level, so you don't have to do that on easy riddle level. Make sure to step into this room because there's 3 boxes of hanging bullets and a bag of jerky. So, good starter pack for the common man right there. Flashlight off in this big hallway for sure because there are a couple dogs roaming. The pendulums aren't really a factor, they won't reach you, but the dogs will see you a bit more quickly if you have your flashlight on, so turning it off just buys you more time before they howl and come towards you. You can get really close to them before they actually know where you are. We're going to crack open the walnut there to get the moonstone, and this is a very, very good save point to use because, yeah, that part I mentioned in the restaurant, when we go back in there, it can be pretty tricky. Might take a couple attempts to get right, or at least if you've been doing this, doing the extreme gauntlet up until now, you may have figured it out, but we're going to use the seal pipe. Try not to fall to your death, as I almost did here, because you can actually fall to your death on hard action level and up. Once you enter the restaurant, I suggest immediately controlling the camera with L2 and run to your right, go right behind the counter, aim at this numb body and pipe thrust him until he goes down. You gotta aim and attack very quickly, or else he may bash you. And this numb body in the corner here looks very concerning. It looks like it's gonna hit us. It always looks that way. It can, but for whatever reason, their AI just goes really dumb by this counter. I've never had an issue where one of those numb bodies actually came and hit me from behind or side. It's always that one behind the counter that's gonna hit you, if anyone's gonna hit you there, to be honest. But just be quick. Try not to hit the wall with your attack if you're not aiming forward. You'd think auto aim would, kind of protect you there, but sometimes it can be a bit wonky. Just try to make sure you're aiming forward. And the thrust attack is best. So hold R2, press X, and hold up on the left analog stick while pressing X. I just find that's the best one. And tends to stun the numb body every time. So we're going up the left escalator because of what I mentioned before. The reason why the closer there wasn't closer is because I actually attempted the split worm and missed a few shots, and I was just a little annoyed, so I loaded my save. And when you do load your save, the closer kind of resets its position somewhat. It doesn't, huddle around the escalator as much, but when I did initially run through there the first time, it was completely blocking the right side. Quite the sight as we descend down to the first boss fight of the game, the split worm. So an important part of the split worm fight is you're going to want to hold L2 basically at all times, or at least when you don't know where the split worm is, you know, where it's going to come from. And it'll centralize the camera on where the split worm is or where it's about to come from in terms of the holes and the general location of it. So just utilize that throughout the entire fight. And there's different strategies you can use here. There's a really good steel pipe strategy that actually ends this fight much more quickly, but the hang-on strat is the easier strat really to pull off. But it's not as efficient for time. And we're going to try to get this fight over with sooner rather than later. It's not a speed run, but you know, I employ a strategy where I fire at it twice. I wait for it to slam the ground. Bit unlucky there. So, okay, the reason why I don't shoot it 3 times right away, if you shoot it 3 times right away, it will leave immediately. It did anyway there. That was just really unlucky RNG. That will not happen often. It will usually stay. So this is what usually happens here. Instead of staying, it bashes the ground. Now we can keep shooting it. And then we'll keep staying. Make sure to dodge that attack. That is an instant kill attack if it hits you. So the reason why I'm only firing 2 shots at a time is that there is a shot counter per cycle here that, like, if you shoot 3 shots in a row per cycle, at any point of any of these cycles, the split worm will leave immediately. And the cycle resets, like, anytime the worm hits, you know, bangs the ground or attacks with that thrust attack, after it finishes that attack, the cycle resets. So you can fire another 2 shots. So I fire my 2 shots. Well, I'll wait for the next attempt here. I'm holding L2 here so I can see where the split worm is. And it's going to show me immediately. There we go. It shows me there. Don't really need to hold it anymore. But okay, so I fire twice. I wait and see what happens. I usually reload well. He's, you know, giving me a window. I shoot once there. I shoot twice there. Shoot only when it's, you know, shell is open. Otherwise, you'll either do very little damage or no damage at all. And yeah, so I shoot before it closes its shell, and then while it opens its shell before it attacks as my 2 times. If you shoot it 3 times during any of these moments, it'll leave immediately when it returns. So you may think, oh, I'll shoot 2 shots and I'll shoot another shot, like while it's also attacking, if you can fit the 3rd shot in there. But it'll just cause the worm to leave immediately when it comes back there. Does this matter in a no damage run? No, not really. It just helps get the battle over a little more, you know, quickly. While you're going through the Extreme Gauntlet 1 through X, you may as well, you know, practice this fight, try to get it, you know, over with sooner rather than later. And unfortunately, I was at a really bad RNG that it just needed 1 more shot before leaving. Maybe if you hadn't left immediately on the first cycle there, the first attempt.
What? It's the shopping mall just like before. Am I back?
As a side note, if you do care about boss timers at all, that one is very unique for the split worm. It doesn't actually stop counting until the screen fades up fully to white after the split worm dies, like 10 seconds after it actually dies, which is very stupid. But yeah, doesn't matter for a no damage run, but if you're trying to 10-star, that can really be a factor that can, you know, mean you go over or not, right? A bit annoying.
Heather,
It's you.
what just happened?
You must be one of them.
What did I do? And what do you mean by one of them?
You're in on this with that Claudia, aren't you?
Claudia? What about her? She asked me to find you, that's all.
So you are one of them.
Claudia did all that? Look, I was just hired to find you. I'm not on anybody's side. I don't know anything about this. Why don't you start by telling me what happened here? And that monster, what the hell was that?
I don't know any more than you do. All All I know is that things are getting really screwy around here, and I got a weird feeling it's got something to do with me. Maybe you're just an innocent bystander, but I can't feel sorry for you because you dragged me into this. You know, if you hadn't found me...
What are you talking about? What's so special about you anyway?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be so confused, would I? But I know there's something. Something I've been running from and forgot for a long time. How did I remember that?
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Where are you going?
I'm taking the subway home.
What should I do?
Hell if I know.
By the way, there's no need to save at Happenburger because there is a better save point coming up inside the subway itself, which is a lot closer to a fairly common reset point. When you get to the area where you have to jump on the tracks and dodge a few double heads and get back on the platform before the train comes, it's pretty easy to mess that part up. So it's just better to save at a location a bit more close to that area. And if you want the map, it's right behind Heather there. So to the right of that blue door, just to the right up there. Before going down the stairs, of course. And the save point I was mentioning is right here. So if you have to redo that track section, well, you don't have to do this whole opening part of the subway section again. Just saves you some time, that's all. We're going to go flashlight off as we head down here, as there are several dogs. And flashlight off is just really OP with dogs. You don't have to go down here, there's just a health drink, but I included it as part of my routing in all my extreme runs. The other side is where you're going to find the nutcracker that we're going to need to open the gate. If I had my flashlight on here, I would have easily aggroed one of these dogs by now, so you can see firsthand how how OP it is having it off. You gotta get pretty close to a dog in order to aggro it, like I think I'll do here on my way out. See, look, they don't even notice me, and then finally that dog notices me, but it's too late. And I believe this lock gate up here is actually a nod to Jacob's Ladder, the 1990 horror film, which I mentioned in my Silent 2 walkthrough because there's some references in that game. There's definitely some in this game too. So in Jacob's Ladder, Jacob takes the subway home, and well, his stop or his station is Bergen Street, which is Heather's stop as well. So I wonder where they got that from. Don't forget the shotgun in this subway train here, and there's two boxes of shotgun shells over here. But yeah, once he gets off on his stop, like he falls asleep on the train, some really weird things happen. He sees some like weird faces and creatures, and then he gets off, and like the whole station is like empty. Like gates are locked. There's chained up areas. There's a chained up gate, which is very similar to that gate. Unfortunately, he didn't find a nutcracker, so he had to find another way out. He had to actually go on the tracks, which we're about to do. So I'm pretty damn sure this game is just was totally inspired by that whole scene. And they made their own rendition of it, really, with Heather going on the tracks here. So we're going to try to angle ourselves so that we can just move forward right away once we open that door, because it aggroes the train, in a sense. And I got a bit lucky with my RNG there. That last dog, the third dog, they went kind of stupid, but I suggest going left, all the way around the dogs, and then coming back right and climbing the platform. Not right beside the railing, because you can't climb up there. You have to go a few feet away from the railing. But yeah, you might think to cut in front of that last dog, which you might be able to do if he's far away, but if he's a little close, it might be a bit risky. So I just suggest going not too hard left right away to, like, give up your, be predictable, but they go left, and then hook right around him. And for that dog there, I suggest going slightly left towards the train to get around it, just in case it might bite you. It generally howls anyway, but it still is possible for it to bite you. All aboard the Bergen Street Express. Definitely recommend the save point because there's a very tricky subway car coming up next, and then a, you know, moderately tricky one after that as well. So pretty common reset point. So for these numb bodies in this train, we can't really do our usual strategy to the fullest effect, but we're going to do it somewhat. Same kind of strategy, right? Go to one side, get past, cut around the next one, cut around the next one, you know, just try to be as unpredictable as you can in a very short space. And here you gotta get close-ish to this numb body and then back up once you target it. I missed my first shot there, but as soon as I knew I was hitting it, I'm backing up so that it doesn't get too close to me, because if it does get too close to you, that numb body will headbutt you. And then immediately after killing the first one, don't go for the kick, it's dead anyway, but just try to re-aim and pick up that second smaller numb body, and again back up if you still have any space, just in case that numb body's tracking you. It's all about tracking that first numb body very quickly as soon as you can, but you got to get close to it. You can't just shoot from the doorway, you won't hit it. You got to get close enough, but don't get too close, because it's just, there definitely is a point of getting too close where it can hit you easily. And for this part, you can go left or right. I generally go left. I find it's more often than not the better side to go. You may get some bad RNG there where you just can't get past and have to back up to try again, but yeah. The underpass has plenty more of those pesky numb bodies, so it's not a bad spot to save right here. And this hallway right here and the next one is the reason why we have to play a new game in order to get a no damage run in this game, on hard or up. Because these hallways right now in an extra new game will be, you know, all bloodified, and they will suck your health. They won't kill you, but they will bring your HP to 1 HP. I turn my flashes off because there's a numb body right there, but he's never really close enough. It's not really important. And my strat here is to wait, flashlight off, to not aggro any of these numb bodies immediately, but there's two numb bodies that come from that left hallway, and they may turn either left or right towards you. I kind of wait to see what they do, because if you just run it immediately, I just find it can be a bit tricky to get past them, whereas I wait for, yeah, so one went the other way, but one came towards me. I do my usual strategy of going along one side and then cutting in front of them at the last second. And for this hallway, you can't just run past everything here, but I really want the box of shotgun shells at the end of this hallway. And if you want that box of shotgun shells, you kind of need to kill this numb body, because he's so damn aggressive. And he will follow you the whole way over there and just bash your brains in. So I kill him to not worry about him, flashlight off. And don't worry about this numb body, it always sounds like he's following you in here. You need flashlight on to grab the shotgun shells, by the way. Then back off. I think he gets caught up on that pylon there. Wide berth. And then we're going to go in here and grab the oil bottle and supplies. And just keep in mind that big numb body we just killed, he will respawn every time we return back outside here. Or at least he did in all of my extreme runs. And what we're going to do is we're going to go straight to the wall and then hook left along the wall and then hook left again. That left hook there, that last left hook, is to avoid his thrust, because if you just try to hook around him, you might be fine, or he may, you know, thrust attack you. And those big numb bodies, they have a massive range, so I'm just doing what I can to dodge his thrust attack if he does try to, like, you know, headbutt me. So I find that exact pathing I did there was pretty good to avoid that. By the way, if you wanted the map to the underpass, it is on the wall right next to the fallen locker, right beside where you get the mall in one of the previous rooms. No need to worry about this numbody right here, because he never gets to you in time. Flashlight on or off. And he despawns or just appears somewhere else when you go back out there, so he's just never a factor. That hanging bullets can be a bit hard to grab sometimes, I don't know why. Fill up the old wine bottle, and not a bad spot to save here because we're gonna have to get by more of those pesky numbodies again, and you know, there's always RNG with them, man. Like, some of it's skill, but some of it's just, you know, praying. So here I go on the inside of the first, and then I take a wide line around the next one because I just don't want to risk him thrusting, him headbutting me. You can also go wide around all of them. That's a strat that's worked for me before on the other extreme levels, but this is what I did here, and it worked quite well. I dropped down into the water here because there is a large numbody on the right side here that we'll have to get past. I turn flashlight off and walk in the middle just to not aggro him at all. If you walk right along the side, you may aggro him, or if you have your flashlight on, and especially if both. Even if, I find even if you do aggro him, you generally can always get up here and through this door without him being a factor, even though it sounds like he's hunting after you. But why bother, you know, pull him along if we don't have to. Ampules, by the way, in Silent 3 are very unique in that they give you not only a full heal, but they give you a infinite stamina boost for, you know, I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 minutes, something like that. So they're very helpful for bosses so that you can attack with, especially with melee, several times in a row more quickly than you can otherwise. Or they will keep your stamina up so you can run at a high speed for longer. So more numbodies in here, take a left around that one. These last two on the left here, so often they will be kind of separated, and many times I would kind of cut between them. It's usually seems to work quite nicely. But they're kind of huddled together towards the right, so I hooked left around them, and then, you know, that one worked out there. Electrify the old sewer monster with your dryer. This is where you would get the gold and silver pipes, by the way, by examining the water there and answering truthfully when the sewer goddess rises. So that would be no, no, and yes. Extra new game only, of course, whereas we are on new game here. Ah, yes, everyone's favorite sound, pendulums. No need to worry, though, they're never a factor. Just take a right in here. And that's pretty much it for the underpass, just a matter of, you know, finding the actual exit. I always love the ambience in this section, just the creaks and cracks. This and the construction site. Not too much going on here, but there's, you know, great sounds to them. There's actually a lot of similarities between Silent Hill 1 and 3, which I think they were fully aware of what they're doing. Like, you know, just many things that I probably don't really have the time to go into, but I mean, one of them is they both, Harry and Heather, go through, you know, sewers / underpasses. So the reason I save here, it's not really important to save here, but there is one dog in the beginning of the Hilltop Center that technically could hit you if your pathing isn't perfect, or if you have bad RNG, so, you know. Also, one thing I noticed in all my runs, Extreme 1 through 9, there was 2 health drinks on that box down there that I examined, and then this one, Extreme X, it was not there, so it really surprised me. All my Extreme 1 through 9 runs were on Extra New Game, though. This is New Game. I don't know if that played a part in that, but yeah, it just took me by surprise there. There's at least 1 or 2 other areas as well where there's a surprise like that, where there's not an item or a different item than there was on Extreme 1 through 9 runs. Don't forget the silencer here by bashing this wall open with your maul or steel pipe. Looks like Solid Snake forgot a silencer when he hit a guard on the wall. Actually reminds me a lot of the, I think it's probably supposed to be a nod to the Metal Gear Solid 1 when there's walls that have been, plastered but have not been painted over yet, and that's how you know where to plant the C4 to find Kenneth Baker, the arms tech president. Of course, Konami made Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid franchises. Luckily, pendulums are like never a factor really at any point in the game for the most part. I mean, they certainly do like to rape your ears, but they're all talk, no bite, fortunately. So inside storefront posables, there's a box of hanging bullets over here. And of course, if we examine that mannequin and then go over to the corner, we'll hear it scream and be full of blood. This is the dog I was referring to. It's not going to be a factor here, but, I don't think I ever did get hit by that dog, but it's just, possible you could. Flash it off as always. Doubleheads hate this. One strategy ruined them all. Now we're going to head to the art gallery on the 5th floor. Do not forget this screwdriver here. Very easy to go up here and just entirely forget that. That screwdriver does not exist on EC Riddle level. And katana, very important. We will be using that on the god, absolutely. It's also a pretty good weapon for the memory of Alessa. Flashlight off, as there's no bodies in here. For whatever reason, I found these bodies were like the stupidest bodies in the game. I don't think I ever got hit by them once in any extreme run, so usual strat, but just flash it off and just run past them. Try to be slightly unpredictable just to be, careful. And then as soon as we exit this, we're going to aim slightly to the left, unlock that door, just spam X until the door opens. But yeah, you got to aim slightly to the left. Not that much to the left, but just slightly so. And I never had an issue escaping there before getting hit. Actually, it might be because the lights are off in that hallway. Then again, the lights are off in the underpass, and they still seem to be pretty effective there. So I really don't know. And for some reason, the dog despawns on this floor once we come back. And now we're going to head to Monica's dance studio on the other side of the hall. And I went over here because there was a ampule here and a first aid kit. And again, all my Extreme 1 through 9 runs, but this time it's replaced with the measly health drink. There's the map to the Hilltop Center on the desk there if you want it. On the little coffee table, by the way. No need to save there because there's a save point coming up, in like 30 to 60 seconds up here before the next enemy. And you need to use the jack and rope separately. You cannot combine them. Like you generally can with certain items, or at least in like Silent Hill 2, you can combine like the 2 rings in the hospital, even though they're not really connected in any way other than just being used at the same time. And this is the save point I was talking about. Not even incredibly important to save here. There's just 1 more, I guess 2 more enemy encounters before the next save point. Not really risky encounters, although this next one, maybe this next one is, but once you know the pathing, it's super easy. Just aim slightly to the left here, Heather's left, and you'll get past the numb body, no problem. I find that as soon as you go through a door, numb bodies don't really attack for at least like a second or 2, so they never really have a chance to hit you in a case like that where you're so close to the door.
I knew it.
invaded by the other world, by a world of someone's nightmarish delusions come to life.
Oh no, not again. Did she do this too?
Box of handgun bullets on the chair here, and just don't move when you go through this door. Observe this slurper, see what he's doing. You can kill it with the usual strategy, which I'll employ later, which is the jerky and katana strategy. But I just watch it, see what it does. If it moves out of the way, then I run past it, and you generally don't have to fight that slurper.
Heather. That's what you're called now, isn't it?
And who are you?
The name's Vincent. Don't forget it, okay? I'm on your side.
So you say. But how do I know you're not with her?
Her? You mean Claudia? Please don't lump me together with her. She was totally brainwashed by that crazy old hag. Well, I guess crazy old hag is a bit harsh. She is your mother, after all.
My mother? What do you mean?
You don't remember? So Harry didn't tell you anything. I guess he hid the truth to keep you on his side, eh? That figures. He's a pretty sneaky guy.
Don't talk about my dad like that!
Sorry. I apologize. Please, calm down.
How do you know my father anyway?
I know everything. I know about your past, too.
Then tell me what's going on.
You don't know even that?
That's why I'm asking. If you know everything, then tell me how I can put an end to this.
Not yet. Why not enjoy yourself a bit longer?
Enjoy? I feel like I'm going crazy. Doesn't this place get to you at all?
Oh, it gets to me all right. I find it most fascinating. Wait! I'm not finished talking!
I knew you were on her side.
How do you figure?
There's something wrong with you, too.
Really blows me away how good this game still looks to this date. Like, absolutely the best looking PS2 game ever made, and just looks brilliant when played in HD, you know, 1080p or 4K. So we're going to grab the Oxidol and equip our Katana and Jerky for this first Slurper coming up. Decent saving point, but first Slurper is not that difficult to get past. We're not going to try to kill it unless we, unless we really have to. So we're going to, again, don't move, just kind of wait, observe its movements, see if there's a path by. Unfortunately, it's right at my feet there, but I decided, you know what, let's just go for it. Flash it off for the dog here, just to not aggro it. By the way, so a flashlight doesn't seem to make a difference on Slurpers. I believe they're blind. You can turn it off if it gives you a peace of mind, but I just find they don't really notice it, and I prefer to see what I'm doing, so I just keep it on with Slurpers, and it doesn't seem to ever affect me negatively at all. At least when if there's like a nurse in the room, like in the hospital, then you gotta be mindful of it, but if it's just Slurpers, don't worry about it. Not an issue. This insane cancer doesn't really aggro until you get really close to it, but just try to be quick. Grab the shotgun ammo there, very important, and then just get out of there quickly. And by the way, you can skip all the elevator animations in this game, in every area, by just pressing start. So immediately through here, just take a left, flash it off, and take a right into this room to get the matches and some ammo. You can kill that dog with the handgun and the silencer if you really want to just go through this hallway carefully and take out these slurpers. I found it's just better just to take a risk and just run through this hallway with the slurpers because they're generally not in the worst locations and you kind of sneak by them. So there's one there at the end, and that first one I got a little lucky with, but I just quickly went past them. I find it's just worth it to go past it. Go past them like that, and maybe that's why it's a good point to save in the right after the Vincent cutscene. By the way, that wheelchair in that hallway, but in that glass hallway, there is definitely a direct nod to the horror film Session 9, made in 2001 by Brad Anderson, directed by him. Another film that was an inspiration for Silent Hill 3 for sure, at least in parts. So I recommend burning this painting first by combining the oxidol, pork liver, and matches, and then saving your game, because boy, you better get ready for one of the most bullshit hallways in the entire game. You know, there are many bullshit hallways in this game, probably about 4 or 5, maybe 6. This one is arguably the worst one. Then again, I don't know, there's probably 2 or 3 that have a real case for being the worst ones. And we're going to be using the jerky and katana here, which is, in this run, I kind of got some good RNG. I got dealt some bad RNG here, but then I recovered nicely and just said fuck and ran. But so, first things first, make sure to walk, put down a jerky there, and then back up. You ideally want to put the jerky so that, we'll step beside the jerky so that you are not aiming too close to the head, so you get 2 swipes, downward swipes of the katana at the slurper, and then once you hit it twice, generally it will enter like a stun state where it shakes its head. And then just keep hitting it until it makes its death note where it makes a roar. Then it'll be dead, but not before then. And I'm just waiting for the hitbox of that first slurper to kind of disappear so the next one can reach the jerky and be in like a more consistent position. There we go. Weird that it's really, really unideal that they're all approaching at the same time. This happens sometimes. It's not the greatest RNG. You kind of want them to come one by one, but again, just waiting for the hitbox to clear. And then I think, oh, okay, great. There's another one. I'm surprised I haven't been hit yet by this point. Very lucky that it didn't. It's right about now that I think, you know what? Okay, right about now, yeah, it aggroed to me. It made a noise, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna run. I know there's at least one more. There's 5 slurpers in this hallway. There we go, I passed the last slurper. So if that happens to you, you may consider just saying, fuck it, running. You don't want to run past all of them most of the times, because it's just, there's 5 of them you have to get past, and there's so much RNG. So I recommend killing them, but if you get dealt the hand where you kind of gotta just play it by ear, you know, learn to adapt. That's what I did here. This one here, both slurpers have come at the same time, which again, not really ideal. You really want to deal with them one by one, but we'll, you know, see if we can kill one here first. Sometimes when you hit them twice, they won't enter that stun state, and when that happens, they're gonna hit you 9 times out of 10. There we go, death note, it's dead. Okay, that one kind of aggroed to me, so I thought, you know what, fuck it, let's just go. And once you pass the first corner here, 2 dogs will spawn in behind you in this hallway. And you can make sure you kill both slurpers and then also kill the dogs, because the dogs won't respawn in that hallway when you turn back out there. But the thing is, the slurpers do, so it's almost not worth it to kill the slurpers. Like, I did try to kill them so I could safely get past them, but if you don't, you get past them, that's fine. Don't worry, because they will be there anyway once you come back. And as for the dogs, they aren't a factor at all. They'll be like chewing on meat in the corner, not a problem. And you'll just see in general, the way out that hallway is much easier than the way in. So on the way out, it's a good idea to put down a jerky here just as a backup. I can hear the slurpers are far away, so I think I'm good at this point, but I'm just going to double check around the corner. I don't see anything. Alright, fuck it. I'm going for it. Boom. Unlock the door and get out of there. See, the dogs were not a factor at all. They never really are. To be honest, they're distracted. And usually there is at least one slurper there, so I highly suggest putting down that jerky there, because it'll probably be, you know, helpful. Wait for it to come over and bite on the jerky, then just run past it and leave. Simple as that. Just learn to pick your battles, man. What can I say? There's just too much RNG with slurpers, and if you get dealt like a decent hand at certain times, just fucking take it and run. And here, I would suggest waiting at the door. Don't do what I did. On, I think my previous, my like Extreme 9 run, I think I did this and it was fine, but one of these slurpers is coming my way, unfortunately, this time. So I left to just reset the room. It won't reset its position, but it'll take off the aggro at the very least, and then I can kind of work from there. The other Slurper at the end of the hall is chomping on some meat, so that's good. I don't need to worry about him. Usually that second Slurper will join in with the first one, chewing on the meat pretty early if you don't attract attention. So just wait at the door, wait for that to happen, and then slowly walk in. And then you can run once you're close to the door, because they won't have enough time to react to you.
Tu fui ego eris. Weird writing. What was that?
And you don't need to worry about the Slurpers on the way out, because the Tu fui ego eris weird writing seems to eradicate all monsters in here when read aloud, including the glutton monster, which was blocking this hallway, and the reason why we found that fairy tale. And now we can make our way home. So the next boss fight is coming up. You might think to equip the weapon you want to use for it, which, well, I did here knowingly that it doesn't matter what you equip for the weapon, it'll be replaced by Heather's handgun no matter what. Even if you equip the silencer, it'll not be equipped when you start the boss. And the flashlight will also be on no matter what when you start the boss, so... It does help to equip your shotgun ammo, or at least your handgun ammo, so that whatever weapon you choose, you will have the corresponding ammo equipped, so you can reload with R3.
Oh. Dad, I'm home. Listen, something really crazy's going on. I think we should... Dad? Dad? No! 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 Did you do this?
You're late.
But why? Why?
Revenge for 17 years ago, for one thing. If not for him, our dream would have come true. And then he took you away from us.
I'll get you for this!
There is another reason. To fill your heart with hatred. It must be this way. One day you'll understand why.
No, I'll never understand!
You must try to remember me, and your true self as well. You will birth a god, and build an eternal paradise. He's the one who killed your father. I merely gave the order. So, what will you do? I'll be waiting where all begins. In the town of Silent Hill.
So immediately enter your inventory and grab your weapon of choice. I recommend the shotgun. Turn off your light right away and run past the missionary, aim at its back, and blast it. That'll knock it down. And what I do for this part is I will equip the handgun. I turn the flashlight on so my shots actually land. Fire 3 times. I get greedy here going for 4. I was trying out the strat, just seeing how much I can get away with. But that one extra shot is too much, and I won't be able to shoot the shotgun off in time. Turn on off the flashlight as it reaches me, and I will get a good recovery here. And now I can continue with my strat here. So here's the handgun, flash it on. Otherwise, I will miss like 1 or 2 shots here. But if you have flash on, you'll generally, land them. Switch to the shotgun, and now here I shot too soon. I was still playing with the timing here, whether it was I could do 4 shots of the handgun or if 3 was enough. So I think that's why I kind of got that wrong twice there. But you really want to do 3 shots only, and then wait a little extra, like half second or second, to shoot the shotgun. I'll get it right here on this attempt. But yeah, we're gonna do 3 more pistol shots. Don't stand too close to it because you'll get hit by that swing when he stands up. Now shotgun, right there. As soon as it makes 1 step forward, and so always try to keep repositioning yourself, like underneath its like feet, like looking up its butt. As weird as that sounds, just so that when it stands up, you're directly behind it and you can get that shot off like that, a clean shot from behind. If you ever shoot it from the front, it will block the attack, and then if it's near you coming towards you, it will absolutely hit you, so you want to avoid that. You always want to hit from behind. And as I'm about to do here, you can keep it in the loop the entire fight once you have like this good, timing and strat developed. You can use the shotgun instead of the pistol. There's no obligation to use pistol, but it's a strat that I kind of developed trying to save shotgun ammo, because shotgun ammo is like gold in this game. There's really not that much of it, and there are a few spots where I'll go out of my way to make sure I have more shotgun ammo for later, so I just want to conserve it in this moment. Use the pistol because it's pretty good. And as soon as he goes down and doesn't move anymore, he's basically dead, but you may have to actually kick him in order to kill him, otherwise the fight may go on for another few seconds.
I don't know what to say.
Then don't say anything. I'm fine, so just get out of here and leave me alone already!
Calm down.
Calm down? How am I supposed to do that? My father is dead! He's murdered! Get out! This is all your fault! If it weren't for you...
I'm sorry.
Then go!
If it'll make you feel better, I will. Is he okay like this?
What else can I do? There's no one here to give him a decent burial. I'm sorry, Dad.
What do you do now?
I'm going to Silent Hill.
What's in Silent Hill?
I don't know.
Do you think it's safe?
Of course it isn't. I don't know what kind of hell is waiting for me there, but I've got no other choice. I don't care about God or paradise. If that's what she believes, then fine. But she won't get away with what she did. When I find her, I'll kill her myself.
Revenge doesn't solve anything.
Maybe not, but that's what I'm going to do.
How are you gonna get there?
None of your business.
I'll give you a ride.
I don't need your help.
Yeah, but it's too far to walk. Besides, I'm partly responsible for this. I'll bring the car around back. Come by when you finish saying goodbye.
You know, you might die too.
That's fine. Nobody's gonna cry over my grave.
Before we head to Douglas's car, we can grab Heather's stun gun and stun gun battery in her dresser. You really don't need this. I don't use this at any point of this run, but you know, I always just included it in my routing for whatever reason. No need to save because there's a save at the start of Silent Hill.
I just met some guy named Vincent.
Vincent?
He's a friend of yours, right?
I'm not sure.
He said when we get to Silent Hill to look for a guy named Leonard, and he gave me this map. What do you want to do?
We can't trust him, but we've got no other choice.
Here, take this too.
What's this?
Your father was holding it. Started raining. Are you sleeping?
I'm awake.
You cold? What's the deal with Silent Hill anyway? It used to be a nice, quiet little town. But now...
You've been there?
Once. On a missing persons case. Never did find him. But I'll tell you, that's one screwed up town. My line of work, you hear a lot of nasty rumors.
I was born and raised there.
Sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
No offense taken.
Anyway, I thought you grew up in Portland. What's wrong? Feeling sick?
My head's pounding like the worst hangover ever.
Maybe your car's sick.
No. I'm just trying to remember. My childhood. Something terrible happened in Silent Hill 17 years ago. A woman named Dahlia. She tried to summon the ancient god of the town. She offered up her very own daughter.
That's crazy.
Maybe so, but it worked. The girl gave birth to a god. You see, that girl had special powers.
Powers?
Her classmates called her a witch. She could make things happen with her mind. She could kill people just by wishing for it. But in the end, that god was killed by a single person. My father, Harry Mason. I guess it wasn't much of a god if it could be killed by a human being. But I think Claudia's trying to do the same thing again. I've been chosen as the sacrifice.
You've got some kind of power in you too?
After the god was killed, the girl reappeared. She was holding a baby in her arms. Before she died, she gave the baby to my father. He loved me just like I was his very own daughter. Even though he didn't know who or what I was. It was so sudden. I never had a chance to tell you how happy you made me.
I'm gonna head for that Leonard guy's house. You check out the hospital. You got the map, right?
Yeah,
You gonna be okay alone?
I'm not a child, you know. Are you sure it's not you who's afraid to be alone?
You're right. I am afraid. I'm 50-something years old. I ain't never seen nothing like this. I still feel like I'm dreaming.
More like a nightmare, I'd say.
Yeah. I want to wake up and have a smoke already. Meet me back here when you're finished looking around the hospital. Okay?
Roger.
And I didn't really get the chance to explain it during that fight because it went by so quickly, but the reason why you want your flashlight off while the missionary is active and running around is because it's so aggressive with your flashlight on that it'll run at you, it'll slice you up, whereas if the flashlight off, it's much less aggressive and it kind of won't know where you are, it won't run nearly as often. But yeah, the loop for that is to keep your flashlight off, run like kind of directly at it, maybe taking a slight line around it, and like as it's kind of doing its charge up attack, it gives you like a really large window to get behind it, perfectly behind it, and blast it. Really easy to get around it while it's doing that charge up attack. Don't just go straight, go curve around behind it and then blast it. And then that's basically the strat that you just use to get behind him and then try to keep him in that loop as long as possible. So once you're in Silent Hill, it's not a bad idea to save at Jack's Inn before you leave because there is one dog that could be a factor if you get the shotgun shells inside Heaven's Night, which I 100% recommend. But as you may hear right now, there is a dog chasing us, and that dog may prove to be a nuisance when we come out of here. He may be right around here once we come down the stairs. Some supplies there, and here's the shotgun shells here. Very valuable, and you don't have to fight anything for it. But yeah, right about now, look at Heather's face, look at her head, see if she's looking at the dog. That might clue you into it being near you, like right around that corner. Just try to avoid it, go the opposite way that she's looking. But most of the time, I think it's not an issue, but I recall in some of my extreme runs that was a factor that I had to kind of think about. And now we take the same routing that James took from Heaven's Night to Brookhaven Hospital in Silent Hill 2. If you want the hospital map, it's in the reception on the desk, and there's also a save point and a health drink in there, but we're going to skip it. First part of the hospital is pretty easy. Just keep your flash set off passing nurses, and they're pretty much a joke to get past in this game. It's not like Silent Hill 2 where nurses are just going to hit you like every time you try to get past. Just run past and they'll thrust where you were, and it's not really an issue unless you get like hung up on them for a second or something. It should never really be an issue at all. Grab the nail polish remover from the women's locker room, and there's also a perfume in there, which we really won't be using at all. And this code on hard riddle level is 4896, which, you know, makes up the path of blood being tasted on the face as described in that memo, which is really fucked up. The second nurse there, by the way, has a revolver, so just be efficient, get past it quickly, and enter room M4, where we're going to have to solve a puzzle. The time on the clock is 3:31 here. It's a random solution, so it'll be different in your game. And we're playing on hard riddle level, so instead of entering the time as it shows up, you know, AM, PM, we're going to enter it in 24-hour time. So instead of 3:31, it's going to be 15:31. Back in the hall, you can kind of see how much of a joke nurses are, even with a revolver. They aimed the revolver, and we just ran, and we were gone. See you later. And yeah, you can see it just run by without any real thought to it. They'll thrust and miss, and you're long gone. And just like the other elevators, you can skip all elevator sequences in this game, so you can get through it very quickly. Make your way over to the first floor patient wing. Carelessly run past all these nurses, head over to C4, and we're going to grab the stairwell key from this, you know, what looks like a kid's project or something. We're going to go down before we go up, and we're going to grab the submachine gun and a submachine gun clip. Keep in mind you need to have your flashlight on to grab that submachine gun clip, otherwise you will not be able to pick it up. The submachine gun, you can, though. You don't need the flashlight on. And use the instant camera to get this code. So this code is random every time. It won't be the same. I generally try to remember the code when I see the photo there, so I don't have to open my inventory again, because we'll be using it very soon on the 3rd floor. Before the 3rd floor, though, we're going to stop up on the roof, where we're going to find a couple magazines of submachine gun ammo and some useless closers. Just run direct to the ammo, run along the fence there, and then curve left around in between those closers there. Just as long as you're quick, it's really not an issue at all. Input the code from the Polaroid. And so this hallway is going to be empty. I keep my flashlight on to grab this jerky, and then I turn it off because there's going to be some nurses that appear behind you and in front of you about midway down this hallway. Just run past and enter the first room fully past the nurse, just immediately past them, which is S12.
Hello?
Claudia.
No, I'm not.
Don't lie to me, Claudia. You're always trying to run from your responsibilities. Have you come to apologize? Or maybe you still don't realize how foolish you've been. The salvation of all mankind. Ah, what a ridiculous dream.
Wait, just listen to me for a second.
I've heard enough from you already. How did you turn out this way? Where did I go wrong?
Listen to me already. I'm not Claudia.
You're not Claudia.
My name is Heather.
Heather.
Who are you?
Leonard Wolf. I'm sorry. I thought you were my daughter.
Claudia is your daughter?
Oh, so you know her, do you? Are you one of her followers?
No, never. When I find her,
I can feel the hatred.
What?
Behind your words, the anger. You plan to kill her, don't you?
I'm sorry, but she killed my father.
She's a fool, but she's still my daughter. I was going to forgive her if she changed her ways, but I see it's too late. Heather, will you help me?
Help you?
I'm locked up in here, and I must stop Claudia.
Where are you now?
I'm not sure myself, but the door is at the end of the hall on the second floor. I think I can be of help to you. I have a seal. Please.
A seal? The end of the hall on the second floor.
Remember, those nurses are still there, so flashlight off, be careful. And before we go down to the second floor and enter the Otherworld Hospital, we're going to use the save point here because before the next save point in the Otherworld Hospital, there are 2 slurpers we have to get past another bullshit hallway, so highly recommend saving in here. And similar to Silent Hill 1, in which you entered an elevator, tried floors 2 and 3, and then a 4th floor suddenly appeared, well, looky here. Mysterious M door appears after we talk to Leonard. So this gate section is not randomized at all. It's always the exact same solution and way you need to go every time. There are some gates that you need to go the wrong way and initiate a gate to close before you can go the correct way and, you know, have another gate open. Here we need to go the wrong way to close that gate before this gate will open.
Eyes don't open. Getting a pulse, but just barely breathing. Why? What is keeping that child alive?
Normally in the PC version you do not hear that audio, it just doesn't work for whatever reason, but the audio enhancement pack restores that. I believe it takes the PS2 audio in general, but brings that audio back, and also brings back Harry's audio in the Hilltop Center. Our buddy Valtiel there, turning the valves. And now we enter the next bullshit hallway, so get ready to equip the katana and jerky. Careful to walk and not run in these areas, and again, flashlight on is fine, just helps you see more clearly. I tend to go to that wall there and wait for the first slurper after I put down my jerky. More often than not, the slurper will be pretty close, the first one, but in my case, there's nobody near, so we'll have to wait a bit. Just use the camera, just, you know, press L2, hold L2 to focus the camera and just help you see if it's coming. I can hear now it's getting closer, so... Smells something. Not the greatest angle here, but... Again, position yourself at its side, not too close at the... Yeah, not close enough. After you hit it the first time, it always tends to turn to you, but then the second hit is what pushes it into its stun state where it starts shaking its head. A couple more, you know, 2-3 more hits from that point tend to kill it with its death note. Putting another jerky down here, you don't have to, but just making it, you know, giving it a more direct path. And I highly recommend, you want to kill this slurper, you don't want to run past it, so make sure you kill this slurper. I heard that it actually tried to do a thrust attack there just as I killed it. That sound it made. The reason why we want to kill it is because there's a save point here and some hang bullets, and this save point we're going to return to at least a few times. So you want this hallway to be absolutely clear. You want to be able to safely return here, even if we're not using the save point, you know, again. You do need to return to this hallway to collect the blood and examining room 4. So, just very helpful to clear out that hallway. Okay, now we get to another serious bullshit hallway. So my strategy here, flash that off because there's a nurse in this hallway and we don't want to aggro her super quickly. I put down a jerky there and I just don't pay attention to the server. The server's not my focus. I want to kill this nurse as quickly as possible. Flash that off, wait at the corner and thrust it immediately. I didn't mean to do overhead swings here. Maybe I did actually, I can't recall. They're both pretty good. And luckily with the nurse, it will try to pistol whip you when you're close enough rather than shooting you. And for whatever reason, its range on its pistol whip is really shit. That's also why the thrust attack seems to be pretty good as well for spacing, because you kind of push forward past where you actually are. But even the overhead downward attack worked quite well there. But yeah, don't worry about the slurpers. Just try to attract their attention with the jerky and then just kill that nurse ASAP. Flash that off so it doesn't know where you are instantly, and just... may take a couple attempts. That's the tricky part of this hallway. The slurpers aren't really the problem, but you know, there's always RNG with them as usual. Since we'll obviously be returning here at least once, you know, we're gonna want to clear out this hallway of slurpers just to be safe. Trying to bring this, well, not really bringing it, but just trying to make sure this slurper comes to this jerky here. Because you really don't have to put down another one, but sometimes it's just helpful to put down another one just to, you know, give it a clearer path. Just wondering why the hell he wasn't coming in. He actually aggroed to me there very briefly. Luckily I was behind the corner, so it was okay. There you go. Oh, wow, okay. I see, like, that's a perfect example of why slurpers are just absolute bullshit. For whatever reason, he was on the jerky, just absolutely having the time of his life, and then just suddenly aggroed to me. I didn't run at all. Just fucking bullshit, man. Just, like, that's why they're just such bullshit. I fucking hate them. They're the worst creature probably in the entire franchise. Just fuck slurpers in every way. If you do the Extreme Gauntlet, and especially if you try no damage run, you will understand what I mean. They are just trash. So the code to this oven is 9271 on hard Riddle level every time. It's always the same. And the reason why we're coming down here first, so it's very helpful to save after we kill the slurpers and that nurse on in that third floor hallway that we just went through. But we may as well lock in this getting this key, and so we don't have to get that key again if we mess up on the second floor. So yeah, highly recommend doing the B3 floor first. It can be pretty tricky to find just where the hell you are sometimes because the doors are all fiery and hard to identify them individually. So yeah, return to S3, save in there, and now we have that whole section locked in. Now we can go to the second floor where there's another semi-bullshit hallway, but it's one of the, you know, less bullshit ones, I would say. There's definitely some RNG here, but yeah. You know what? It definitely is a bullshit hallway. It's a very common reset point, because just if the first slurper doesn't cooperate and then if the nurse comes too soon, it's just going to be terrible. But yeah, no creatures first time appearing in the hall. Turn your flashlight on to grab the plastic bag and a health drink in there. Immediately I turn to my right, outside, put down the jerky, and then kind of move to the side, let the slurper go for it. And I'm not trying to kill a slurper because that nurse is coming. Flash it off to not aggro her so quickly. And now I'm just observing, seeing if that other slurper is coming. It wasn't, so I ran for it. And there was the other slurper there. We went left around it before we turned over to the elevator. That's the hallway where I think it's just kind of worth it taking the risk. Kind of like the second slurper hallway of the Hilltop Center where you just kind of... I just think it's better just to go for it. So I would suggest that. Feel free to kill that nurse the same way you did in the previous hallway or the same way I showed. It can definitely work, but... It's a pretty tight hallway with that slurper right there chomping on that jerky, and, you know... That nurse is just going to be a little more tricky to deal with than the first one. Make sure you come back to the 3rd floor, examining room 4. Use your bag to get the blood, and save, because the next hallway, the next bullshit hallway, is probably the most bullshit hallway in the entire game. Yeah. This one is really fucking awful because there's 3 slurpers, a nurse with a revolver, and importantly, a gurney blocking half the fucking hallway at the key choke point. So you really can't just run fucking through it, because, like, if you do, you're gonna have a nurse with a gun and probably at least 1 slurper, if not 2, like, at that gurney. So it's just so terrible, the positioning. So I just flashed it off to get past this nurse here. And this is the hallway I was talking about right here. I just moved to the right a little bit to put down jerky, because if you put down jerky right away, it's just, your camera angle's kind of shit, and it's just terrible. So kind of lucky with 1 slurper being here right away, so I attacked it twice. Can't really see, I know, but there we go. Death Note, it's dead. And then the next slurper, this is the second one. It's already here, which is kind of good RNG. I can hear the nurse getting closer, but because my flashlight's off, it doesn't know where I am right away, but I'm going to have to get ready. Okay, now I realize it's just time to go. I'm checking to see where that 3rd slurper is. Luckily, it was behind the gurney there on the right, and I did get stuck on something on the left side there, so just try to dodge that. And so I'm going to be honest with you, that's just really good RNG. You're not going to get good RNG that you know, like that most of the time. But you just have to recognize when you get dealt a good hand, you got to take it. That was a case right there. I took it. Like, I'm sorry. Fuck that hallway. If you ever get dealt a similar situation, just fucking take that opportunity, say thank you, and move on. And just use the save point here, and just don't look back. Trust me. Fuck these bullshit hallways, especially that one. That one is the worst. And it's a lot harder than it looked, but the difficulty is really just getting the good RNG there. It was pretty good. So Leonard could be a bit of a dice roll. Definitely a good point to save. I don't think he's difficult to no damage by any means, but at least he can take a while to kill sometimes if you don't get good RNG. So I suggest the shotgun, and this is partially part of the reason why I make sure I get extra shotgun shells, like in Heaven's Night or in the Underpass where that numb body was. Well, it's more so I have some ammo left over for Memory of Alessa in the amusement park, rather than running out of ammo during this fight, although that can happen as well, depending on how it goes, if it goes on and on.
Heather?
Yeah? Leonard, where are you?
Thank you. Now I can finally leave here. Now Claudia's ridiculous dream is over. Well, I guess it's time to dispose of her. The salvation of all mankind. Ha! Why must we reward even the unbelievers?
What are you talking about?
About our plans, of course. It's true that God is merciful, but first, one must be chosen. Only we, who hearken to the voice of God, will be given the keys to paradise. Don't you think so, Heather?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and think whatever you want.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I don't think the way you guys do. I don't want any part of that kind of paradise.
You're an unbeliever. You deceived me.
I didn't deceive you. We were both just wrong about each other. I thought you were a normal person.
So you tried to trick me so you can run off with my seal, eh? Heretic! You plan to destroy God!
I told you I wasn't trying to trick anyone. What is this seal thing anyway?
Don't play innocent. You can't fool me anymore. The seal is mine! I was appointed by God to be its guardian! The only thing you'll get from me is a gruesome death.
Leonard? Is that you?
Death to all who turn their backs on God!
Is every person here a mental case? Well, I guess you're not a person anyway.
Immediately aim the shotgun and blast Leonard, and here's where the RNG begins. Here I get really good RNG, so what can happen is either he will start thrashing around in the water, and at which point he can be shot, or he will immediately swim away, which is really fucking annoying, and that's what happens most of the time, but in my case I got lucky, good RNG. After I cleared my shotgun of its ammo, I switched to the SMG because I don't really have any other part of the game where I use this, so I just find it's good to save some of your shotgun ammo by using SMG. And you can aim the SMG downward slightly, but not entirely, just to make sure all the bolts are hitting him. And then once that's fully used up, switch back to the shotgun, reload in the inventory, and try to continue the fun and games by keeping Leonard pinned. I got really good RNG where he stayed pinned down. This is not going to happen to you most of the time, and he's dead. You can see how quickly this battle ends if you get good RNG.
Leonard's not here anymore. I guess I should head back to the motel now. I hope Douglas is okay. Huh? What's this?
So because there is a save point there, you really can just keep loading until you get the good RNG that I got, because you will get it eventually. Just got to be quick and just make sure if he is thrashing, start shooting him immediately. But if he doesn't thrash, then you may be in for quite the long haul, unfortunately.
Why did you send her to my father?
Was that wrong?
It's your fault that he...
Oh, but surely it's a good thing. It means he was one of God's beloved, no?
Those who mock God will never receive salvation. You'll go to hell, Vincent. You'll never feel the joy of God's everlasting paradise.
And you think God is going to save you? Ha!
What do you know anyway?
I know about the pleasures of this world. And I want to find my happiness while I'm still here. You hated your father, didn't you? I saw the way he hit you, and kicked you, and made you cry. The memory of his cruelty is forever burned into my mind.
Yes, and that's why we need God.
What you call faith is nothing more than a child crying out for love. That's why you're all alone.
You don't understand. None of you do.
But if you're not really willing to keep loading over and over, you can just give it a shot, see how it goes, you know, regardless of RNG. And most of the time, how that fight will go is that Leonard will spend large portions swimming around in the water. When he's swimming at full speed, he will not rise up from the water, so you're okay. But once he slows down, he's going to get up very soon. So just make sure you're not in front of him, so that, you know, he doesn't hit you when he rises. And other than that, I generally try to stay around the middle and just try to track him by looking left and right. I used to follow him everywhere, but it's just like impossible to keep up with him that way. So I find it's better just to maybe move a little bit left and right and just look both sides as he goes and swims, and just make sure that if he does slow down his swimming pattern, just make sure you're out of the way. Just strafe out of the way or move out of the way so that he doesn't rise right in your face. And just as soon as he rises, blast him with the shotgun. Make sure you have 6 bullets ready. Get ready to shoot him with the shotgun if he starts thrashing immediately. You don't want to give him any chance to get up or swim away. But yeah, pay very close attention. Get ready to shoot him if he is thrashing, because it's a perfect opportunity to get that window going. But often he will, you know, swim away regardless. So you may just have to give it a few tries to see how it goes. And worst case, you end up spending some extra time there, but pretty easy to avoid damage at least.
Where's Douglas?
He went out. But he left a message for you.
Was there someone else here just now?
No, just me. Don't you want to know what the message is?
Yeah, what did he say?
The church is on the other side of the lake.
Church? Wonder what he meant by that.
You don't understand? That's where Claudia is. Across the lake. On the north side. If you're going, you better go through the amusement park. It's probably the only way in now. Go northwest on Nathan Avenue. It's a bit far, but closer than heaven.
Is that it for the message?
Uh-huh.
Thanks. Douglas really said that?
What's wrong? You don't trust me?
I mean, she probably has every reason not to trust you, so... I think they were a little bit too on point by making Vincent look like Ethan Hawke, who he's clearly modeled after. And I recall reading or hearing an interview with one of the Team Silent members saying that he was... Wow, that was a pretty damn close call with that double hit. Yeah, get ready to dodge at any instant, because you could have a case like that. And now we make the same trek that James did in Silent 2 when he headed to the Historical Society, so... This time we'll be going past it all the way up until the amusement park. But we don't have to go that far before we just get transported there, and we'll start the same segment that we did in the Nightmare sequence, but this time a bit more comprehensive and with some differences.
Oh, hell.
This time it's not a dream, so we're going to have to find a different way of doing things if we want a different outcome. First part of the amusement park is pretty similar to the nightmare, except there's no dogs in this hallway, just 2 closers. In order to get the mountain coaster key to fall, I tend to go to this corner over here, and then I run back to the start, and then I turn around, and just make sure you're not looking at it, or else it won't fall. But it should fall if you're not looking at it running back. It's not overly important to save here, I don't think, but the closer outside can trip you up if you try to get past it quickly without being patient, so just be mindful of that. So what I do is I go back this way to pull that closer away from the choking point, and then I run past when it's clear. Otherwise, if you just try to run past with it in its original position, you'll probably get caught up on its arm, and then it'll quickly do its spinning arm attack and hit you. So just try to not be too aggressive with that. And as soon as you get through this gate, take a left here, and try to be as quick as possible here, because this pendulum right here rises and rises, and if you're not really quick, it may get up here before you, and then you can't really avoid, getting past it without getting hit by it. And for some reason, this health drink is just very finicky. It's a very narrow spot that you can actually grab it, and you have to examine the left side of the panel in order to turn off the roller coaster, not the middle or the right. And now we see if our efforts are going to be rewarded in any way to change the outcome.
I hired you to find the girl, and you performed serviceably. What is it now?
You lied to me about Heather, lady. I don't like being used.
Lie? What lie?
That Heather was kidnapped from you.
But it's true. She was originally one of us. That man, Harry Mason, stole her away and kept her hidden from us.
Yeah, but she says she was happy.
She was brainwashed by him, deceived, because her true self had not yet awoken. She carries God within her. But when Alessa, Mother of God, truly awakens...
Yeah? What's gonna happen?
She will usher in the eternal paradise.
What kind of place is that?
A place with no pain, no hunger, no sickness, no old age. There will be no greed or war, and all will live by God's grace alone.
No this, no that, no nothing. A paradise? For castrated sheep, maybe. Sounds pretty boring.
I pity you. You still don't understand. You're going to kill me? Is it really so easy for you?
I've done it before.
Then I truly do pity you.
Now we arrive outside Borley Haunted Mansion. I definitely recommend saving here because the red glow hallways at the end of this section are pretty fucking insane, and your pathing on Extreme X needs to be basically perfect to avoid getting hit. And unfortunately, we're on new game here, not extra new game, so we will have to listen to the full narration of these opening few rooms of the mansion.
Welcome to the Borley Haunted Mansion. We're so glad you came. Please come inside and look around. When you feel you're ready, then go through the door. Help! Help! Do you hear those voices? A family of 4 was sliced into bloody pieces in this room. Ah, the cries of the children. The murderer was caught. Do you know why he said he killed his family? Because I felt I had to! Anyway, I'm lying. It's all just a joke. I wanted to scare you, that's all. The truth is, only one person died. By suicide. That's Danny. A quiet young man, but quite friendly as you can see. He was so eager to meet you. His hometown is New Orleans, but he came here after first losing his way. Oh, maybe you might know. Where is the path to heaven? This mansion is quite old. So
Hold R2 as you get to this area so that Heather is lowered slightly, otherwise those spikes will hit you and kill you on hard action level and up. Weapon equipped or not, doesn't matter. Heather will slightly lower. So the red glow in these next 2 hallways will kill you if it starts to engulf you, and even if it touches you ever so slightly, it will start to damage Heather. You'll hear her kind of scream a little bit. So in order to get through here on Extreme X, and especially without damage, your pathing needs to be basically perfect. You need to memorize these hallways, which directions you go, and so on. And I highly suggest, I recommend you actually force Heather to walk for some of these corners. Like, I'll go through it in more detail in the second one, because both hallways are the exact same in terms of the layout here. Just, if you're using reverse walk, run control, press square. If you're using regular control, let go of square to force your character to walk there. So right there, I forced Heather to walk there, run that first corner. Right there, before I reach that wall. One of these corners is helpful. I don't think I did there. Right there, very quickly. And right here, one of these corners, not both of them. I suggest the first one, because then you won't have to walk around the second one. Like I said, I'm using reverse walk run control, so I run by default, and in order to walk, I will tap square. Like, I'm not holding square for any sustained amount of time, I'm just tapping and letting go instantly. So that forces Heather to stop running and walk for like a very small fraction of a second, and then she'll go straight back to running, but she will cut all her momentum and she won't bump into the walls for like another few seconds at least until you get up to full speed again. So that helps you avoid bumping into those walls. You don't need to do it in every corner because Heather won't have the momentum unless she's been running for a while, but if she has been running for at least a few seconds, it would be ideal to do that. You don't have to do it if your pathing is like absolutely perfect and you're turning early, but it's just really difficult to do that, so I highly suggest just mastering you know, a few corners where you're gonna use the forced walk very briefly like I did there. Make sure you don't miss the box of shotgun shells in that on that bench, and then grab the chain on the bleachers, the red shoe on the stage, and then when you're using the chain on this door to break it open with the ride here, it doesn't matter which side you put on first. You can put on the column first or the door first, doesn't matter, and you got to be very precise with your positioning, especially on that door. Like, I was off by like a millimeter in terms of like aiming at it. I don't know why it's so finicky. And then start the ride, and that'll open the door.
Douglas,
You're late.
are you hurt?
I can't move my right leg. I think it's broken.
I'll call an ambulance.
What? I don't think one will come. Don't worry. I'm used to it.
You old fool! Getting yourself hurt like that?
Sorry.
Why did you have to do that for me? What'll I do if you die?
What'll we do if this god thing gets born?
Come on. How powerful could a god from a dump like this be? I'm sure it'll be no big deal.
But anyway, something's gonna happen.
Who knows? Maybe we'd all be better off if it did.
But if this is how our God of Mercy acts, I don't want to see any more of him. That's a pretty good reason to risk my life, don't you think? Plus, I'm just an old fool, right?
You think you're Superman or something?
You know, I always wanted to be him. Besides,
Yeah.
I want to help you out.
You don't have to feel responsible. I know it's not your fault.
You remind me of my son.
You said nobody was going to cry for you.
Dead people don't cry. Stupid kid got himself shot robbing a bank.
But why?
Maybe because his pop was a penniless good-for-nothing. Who knows? Anyway, now I guess I'll never find out. Sorry. I shouldn't have said you reminded me of a guy like that.
Well, maybe if you had compared me to your daughter. Listen, I'll take care of the rest. You stay here and I'll be back when it's over.
You'll be okay by yourself.
Hey, no problem. Besides, my dad's not around anymore, so only I can do this. What are you doing?
Maybe killing you here is the only way to end this nightmare.
Yeah, you might be right.
There is a save point in here, but I suggest just grabbing the doll head and doing this, you know, Cinderella and Snow White puzzle first. Putting in the doll head on the left side. And the red shoe on the right. And that will unlock the door. Now it's a good time to go back and save. And this is actually the second Silent Hill game in a row, which directly references Snow White and Cinderella. So I guess they're fans. Ampule there. It's funny how there's literally 2 ampules in the case, but somehow it only counts as 1 for all of these. This is a good spot to save because the memory of Alessa boss fight is coming up, which I don't think is that difficult, especially if you're using the shotgun like I do, but you know, it's an easy place to mess up and take damage. And as soon as you go through this door right here, take a right. It's kind of crazy here, so you want to get through quickly. Then take a left through this gate, and then just sprint to this gate over here on the left side. Sometimes that pendulum may be there like as you're arriving. You may want to wait for it and go around it, but I never had issues going to the left of it through the door. And now let's head to the same carousel, I believe, that Harry fought Sybil in Silent Hill 1. So now we have to kill the 12 horses as soon as the carousel starts, which is right now. And there's some RNG here, or I don't know if it's RNG, well, there is definitely some RNG, but you can get 2 hits if you slice through a lot of the horse's meat at the same time. Like, this might be a 2-hit. Yeah, there we go, 2-hit. Whereas if you're like just clipping, you know, part of the horse for 1 or 2 hits, then it's gonna take 3. It could actually take 4, I think, sometimes. But yeah, not that this really matters at all. But you know, if you want to get through it a little more quickly, like when you're doing all these runs. When I'm doing all these runs, I'm always trying to, you know, improve my pathing or certain strats just ever so slightly. You can kind of wait for the horse to get a little far down before doing your first hit sometimes if it's beneficial, or you're just maybe wasting more time doing that, depending on the positioning. So for the fight coming up, I prefer to use the shotgun, and it's part of the reason why I kind of go out of my way somewhat to get a few more boxes of shotgun shells, just to make this fight a bit more easier, and so I have a spare, you know, maybe 2 or 3 shotgun shells, maybe, for the scrapers in the church. So I definitely recommend doing the same thing and getting those extra shotgun bullets, but you know, you may not always be so fortunate. You may have to use the katana for this fight, and the katana is very viable. You just have to equip the bulletproof vest so that when you block you don't take any damage at all, and use an ampule before the fight so that you have full stamina and you can run fast and you can attack quickly rather than slowly. So there's 4 phases to this fight. The first phase is the knife version of Alessa. And you don't want to shoot right away. You want to wait for her to start swinging her knife, or you know, whatever weapon it is. Right there. Once you hear that whipping sound, that she is open to attack. Her defense is up when she's facing you until she does that. Her defense is not up when she's running away, though. You can also shoot her from behind. I did there because she was like right there, but when she's running away, I generally don't shoot her because I don't want to waste any shotgun bullets. I want to make the most of every shell, so I want her to be as close as possible. Yeah, now she has the pistol. This is phase 2. And what you want to do, you want to force her to use the pistol whip attack rather than shoot you. So just hide behind the horses and just wait until she gets close. It's basically similar strategy to the Eddie boss fight in Silent 2. Now is phase 3. She is the pipe. This is the easiest phase, I would say, because look how massive the attack window is for that. Like, you hear the whip, and then she like still has to like wind it up. So, if you are running low on shotgun shells, this is the one phase that I would highly recommend using the katana for. So, equip the katana, equip an ampule, or use an ampule, and equip the bulletproof vest, and hold R2, wait for it to approach you, and as soon as you hear that whip sound, press square to block, and then overhead downward swing or thrust attack. As long as you press it when you hear that whip sound, you'll be good. The attack window is so massive, and the block window is pretty large too. So now she has the submachine gun, the most damaging weapon, but again, it's the exact same strategy as the pistol. Just hide behind the horse here, wait her to come in, and as soon as you hear that whipping attack, blast her. Now to save some ammo, I go for a kick here. So this is the one phase where it doesn't end immediately when she gets knocked down, and she gets knocked down pretty quickly. Here again, knocked down. She's not dead yet. Get a free kick. Don't waste your ammo. Save it. I shot a bit too soon there. I was anticipating. And it's not a bad idea to back up slightly, just because sometimes if she corners you between like a horse and like herself, sometimes that can make her hit you more quickly. I found I found in some previous runs, like I got hit by her like at the same time that I shot. So I find having some spacing is just a little helpful there. So try to maybe back up a little bit in case, and especially try to make sure you don't get crunched up between her and a horse, because that's just not a great time. But yeah, you see how easy that fight is with the shotgun. It's not that difficult with the katana, but it's definitely more difficult. But just make some effort to save some shotgun shells and use them on that fight, and you'll have an easier time with it.
How did you get here? It was Vincent, wasn't it? He led you here. When will he cease his meddling? But it's just as well. Luring you here also serves my purposes.
Checkmate.
Not yet. The time is not yet at hand. The time when all will be forgiven their sins. When the paradise we have long dreamed for will arrive. After the judgment and atonement, an eternity of bliss. Oh, Alessa, the world you wanted is nearly here.
That's not what I want.
Not you. Alessa, your true self.
But I am Alessa. My little Claudia, my dear sweet sister.
Alessa, is it you? Oh, how I've missed you.
I don't need another world. It's fine the way it is.
But you said it yourself. The world must first be cleansed with fire.
But that's not what I want now.
Alessa, don't you want happiness? Have you become blind to all the hopeless suffering in the world? We all need God's salvation.
Listen, suffering is a fact of life. Either you learn how to deal with that or you go under. You can stay in your own little dream world, but you can't keep hurting other people. Besides, I'll never forgive you for hurting my father.
I wish only for the salvation of mankind. But for that to happen, the world must first be remade. And for that, we need God.
You self-righteous witch! No one asked you to help!
It's growing within you. You despise me, don't you?
You're damned right I do!
That's good.
Do not forget the Eye of Night tarot card here before you advance. Very easy to miss that. The Eye of Night card is a made-up tarot card, by the way, for the purpose of this game, which is, quite a brilliant invention, which is very much in theme. And you'll notice I have one shotgun shell left, actually, which I will try to use wisely on a scraper and try to get a one-shot kill. Good saving point, start of new area. If you don't have any shotgun shells left, I will show you here how to kill a scraper with the handgun and the silencer. That actually works quite well. So in this room, I suggest just taking a tight line immediately to your right and going through that door. Just don't risk going past the closers. And just, take a left past this insane cancer, just force your way around them. Pretty easy. Now we have to wait for this crying girl to mark the way with her bloody footsteps before we can move this painting. If you do want to save, like right at this point, you can advance in the next room around that corner behind Heather, and you can save inside the belfry. I guess at this point I remembered that the next scraper is in a pretty awkward position around the corner here. It's just not ideal for using the pistol and backing up while shooting it, so I decided to use my one shotgun shell and just try to place the perfect shot, and there we go. Blasted that fucker away. Get fucked, buddy. But we will use the handgun on the next one, I promise you.
Hiya, Heather.
You show up everywhere, don't you?
You make me sound like some kind of unwanted pest.
Well, who are you anyway?
Haven't you realized that yet?
Yeah, you're on Claudia's side.
I told you not to put me in the same category as that mad woman.
Well, you're pretty loony yourself.
It's true. We believe in the same God. But I'm quite sane.
So why did you help me out then? Was that also part of trying to resurrect God?
It's not uncommon for people to worship the same God and still disagree.
God? Are you sure you don't mean devil?
Whichever you like. The point is that now I really am on your side. I don't want God to be born. Wouldn't be convenient. Much too unpredictable.
So you've been using me to stop Claudia, is that it? Do your own dirty work.
My dirty work? I think we both had our own interests in mind. You hate her too, don't you? You're the only one who can get it done. I don't have powers like you two. Besides, I always hated getting all hot, sweaty.
Oh, really?
I'm just looking out for myself. Everyone does it. Don't stand there looking so smug. You're the worst person in this room. You come here and enjoy spilling their blood. And listening to them cry out. You feel excited when you step on them and snuff out their lives.
Are you talking about the monsters?
Monsters? They look like monsters to you?
Oh no.
Don't worry. It's just a joke. By the way, I forgot to ask you. Did you get the Seal of Metatron?
What's that?
You don't have it? Leonard was carrying it!
You mean this thing?
Yes, that's it. As long as we have that, we're fine. Here, take this.
That one line, they look like monsters to you. That's taken the entire Silent Hill fanbase for a ride ever since this game came out. Just absolutely brilliant, though. So good. So we're going to take the elevator down, and then we're going to have to face a scraper here, which we're going to kill with the silence pistol. You want the silencer on, otherwise the scraper will block the occasional shot. And we're going to unfortunately miss a couple shots here, but even with like 3 misses here, we're going to be just fine. Just back up while you're shooting to keep your spacing, otherwise, you know, it'll come and slice you. And yeah, it takes about, I don't know, about 5, 6, 7 shots and it'll go down. And it does get stunned between shots, so it's a pretty good weapon, but we won't need to use it anymore because we get 12 shotgun shells right here while we're getting the Hangman Tarot card in this room. The silence pistol actually is pretty good on the missionary boss fight too. It's not as good as a shotgun, like, because you gotta have a bit of a different strategy and there are some risks, and it misses pretty consistently with flash it off, but is a pretty good weapon when used similarly to how I used it there on that scraper. So because there's a pendulum in here, I'm going to try to kill this scraper as quickly as possible. Got a bit unlucky that the first shot didn't kill him, but quickly get past him once he does drop. They tend to die outright once they get knocked down, almost all the time, so no really need to worry about them. And before we go to Lessa's room, we're going to go through this large room of creatures, and we're going to wait for another bloody footstep, crying girl. While we wait, we can check out the representation of Alessa and Cheryl by Valtiel, the smaller girl on the right being Cheryl. And surely fans of Silent Hill 1 will recognize this room and the mention of a Glophodus. Some final handgun bullets there, which can be useful on the upcoming boss fight against the god. And an ampule, which can also be useful to give you a nice stamina boost. Mine the fatty on your way out. And this room is now populated with a few more creatures. So just make your way past them. Get the brass key, and this is a pretty good save point because, you know, you never know what RNG hand you're gonna get on the way back when it comes to like pendulums, you know, insane cancers, and that one room, you know, between the belfry and the chapel. If we did look to our right about now, we would see Valtiel choking out a nurse. And so here, this pendulum proved to be a problem, and if I noticed that if I would just run through there, he would hit me, so I just waited for him to lunge in that direction, and then once he did, I went. So you can skip all the elevator sequences in the church, in the hospital, in the Hilltop Center, just by pressing start. So get ready to haul ass as soon as you go through this door. Try to go to your right here to squeeze through here. And that's pretty close there. You could definitely get hit by him if you're not, you know, super perfect there. This room is just absolute craziness. I suggest taking a tight line to the left. Maybe turn your flashlight just so you can fucking see what the hell you're looking at. So you can kind of locate where the door is. And this is another room you may recognize from Silent Hill 1. Yeah, you don't have to go in the classroom, but if you don't, you gotta get past an insane cancer, and there's just, like, which is to the left right now, but there's just no point. Why risk it? Because he's blocking the entire hallway. He's not easy to get past in the hallway, so why not just take the free pathway through the classroom and just don't take your chances. And before we go back through that room of absolute fucking craziness, I would recommend going back to the chapel over here and saving the game. There's the map to the church, by the way, on the wall, if you need it, and Heather will add to it as she goes through areas that don't exist on the map. But yeah, that room is just so fucking crazy now. I recall having a bit of an issue at this part of the run from the last save point up until here. I tried to go through this room several times without saving, and then just kept having bad RNG between this upcoming room and like the pendulum in that previous area, or like an insane cancer. Just some bullshit always kept happening, so I was just like, fuck it, and I saved in that room. So yeah, this time I take more of a U approach, as the enemy's positions are kind of all over the place. The room is just progressively crazier, and again, I turn on the flashlight just to kind of see where I'm going there. And so in that room that's absolute craziness, I suggest as you get to the door, just make sure you press square or let go of it, depending on if you're using reverse block control or normal, just so that you don't hit the door. If you hit that door, you're probably going to get hit. So just try to walk near the door so that, you know, tap the walk button so that you walk. Otherwise, you know, you're probably going to get hit. Flashlight off just to buy us, you know, some more time here, and squeeze by that pendulum if it's close there. And we are done with regular enemies in the game. Just the god from this point on. Before saving the game, I highly recommend putting all your tarot cards in the door first. So High Priestess goes in the top left slot there, and then the next card up there is the Moon tarot card that goes in the middle right slot. Eye of Night goes in the top middle. Hangman goes in the bottom left, and the Fool, the number 0 card, goes in the middle. Now we will save our game and prepare for the final boss. And right now, I still have the silencer equipped for the handgun, which is not, like, it's not necessarily by choice. I just don't really care to remove it. It's not really a factor. You absolutely do not need to equip the silencer with this fight. Don't bother, but I just didn't bother to, you know, unequip it.
What do I want? Well, for the two of you to die, that would be nice. Then I could relax.
When did you stop believing in God? God lives. Just look around you.
But I do believe in her. In my own way. I fear her, and I adore her. But I haven't lost my mind like you. You think that this is the work of God? Isn't this all nothing more than your own personal nightmare? Just like Alessa 17 years ago? If this really is the work of God, then I'd say she has lousy taste.
You mock God? Traitor. You will go to hell.
Not that again! Who do you think you are, claiming to know God's will?
Go home, Vincent.
Home? This church is my home. I built it with my power. The power of money that you view with such scorn. Although I admit that this atrocious scenery is all yours.
If you continue to get in my way...
Did you kill me? Well, the guest of honor has arrived. Let's get this party started. Heather, go ahead and kill this crazy bitch. This demon who claims to speak for God. The time has come. You can kill her now.
You'll go to hell!
What did you do?
Nothing important.
You're not going to run? I guess this is the end.
No, the beginning. As Vincent said, the time has come. Alessa, I'm saddened that you didn't agree to this on your own. you for nurturing God with all the hate in your heart. It's time for mankind to be released from the shackles of sin which bind them.
But a God born from hatred can never create a perfect paradise.
Happy people can be so cruel. Is it so hard to believe that sympathy could be born out of pain and suffering? Why do you reject God's mercy? Why do you cling to this corrupt world? You know that only God can save us.
And save you too? Happy ending? I'd rather go to hell.
No, I don't expect to be saved. And that's fine. Alyssa, my dearest. For the pain that I've caused you, I deserve no mercy. Even if it was to save mankind. It was too deep a sin. It was hubris for me to try to hasten the day of her arrival. Sacrifices were made. Those are my sins.
If you feel so guilty about it, why don't you go to hell? Heather, use the seal.
Vincent? The seal of Metatron?
Now your stupid dream is over.
Oh, that's just a piece of junk. What do you think you can do with that? Do you really think it can kill God? I'm sorry to see you fell for my father's foolishness.
What?
You're pathetic. But God loves even you. Now, Alyssa, there's nowhere else to run. Just accept it, Alyssa. The pain will disappear. I've been waiting so long for this. Even as a child, I knew I would see the coming of this day. I knew I would be a witness to it. Judgment Day. Alyssa?
Shut your stinking mouth, bitch!
What a line delivery. As soon as you can play here, you're going to want to use the pendant, which has the Aglophidus inside.
What are you doing?
Dad. Looks like God didn't make it.
Stop! God is...
Claudia!
Lessa, you cannot kill God. I will burn God. If you can't do it, Alessa, I will.
Claudia! Claudia! Can't be dead. I was gonna kill you. This is God?
So in order to bring the god down to its hands and knees, you need to fire at it 3 times with the handgun. And in the PC version, there is an exploit where you can just stand at a very specific spot between its, like, you know, shoulder and, you know, wrist, in this spot right here, and when it attacks, it will not hit you, and you can abuse the hell out of it for this entire fight. I find for the first cycle, when she's down on her hands and knees until she gets up once, you can pretty much always get away with 3 hits. By the way, take an ampule at the start of this fight so that you can take 3 swings very quickly. Otherwise, if Heather's out of breath, she will swing quite slowly, and you won't be able to get in 3 swings as quickly as you can otherwise. Just get your 3 swings in, just make sure you're in the safe spot. You don't have to be sidestepping while you know, if the swing happens. Just need to be in the right position. And as soon as she stands up, back up immediately behind this black semicircle, and just fire 3 more bullets, and get in your position. And just rinse and repeat. It's that simple. If you're cautious of that arm attack, you can wait behind the semicircle before going for it. Which is definitely what I would do if I were playing the PS2 version, but in this version, it doesn't really matter. As long as you're in that safe spot, you're good. And from the second and potentially third phase of her being on her hands and knees, it's a bit riskier to go for 3 hits each time. I would suggest 2 if you want to play it safe, but I knew that I was, like, by doing 2 hits here, I knew I would need to do a 3rd cycle of her hands and knees, and it would only take a few more hits, so I was just trying my best to 2 cycle her, and we will get it here, so if you're feeling bold, go for it like I am, just understand that there is a risk. And there you go. She goes down really quickly when you're spamming that katana thrust attack. Real quickly.
Is that the end? I guess it's time to roll the credits.
By the way, if you always wondered why Heather turns around here, it's because she actually hears a baby crying as the god presents her with a baby, just like it did to Harry years ago when it presented, Cheryl, now known as Heather, to Harry Mason. They removed it from the final edit, I believe, the baby crying, but I think it's still in the raw files of the game. And as Heather does not have a baby in this scene, you can imagine what she did. I don't know if she would have, snuffed it out, or maybe she just left it, but either way, she closed the loop.
Heather, is it really over?
Not yet. You're still alive.
Heather, what, Heather?
Oh! Just a joke.
You've got terrible
I'm
taste.
sorry.
Heather, did
You
you...
don't have to call me that. I'm not hiding anymore.
You want me to use your real name? What was it again?
Cheryl. The name my father gave me.
You gonna let your hair color go back too?
I don't know. Don't you think blondes have more fun?
Spoke of tortured souls, so outrageous the toll. You can lose all you have. He refused to give in to the town that takes all. Survive. You must have the will. This movie doesn't end the way we want all the time. Then he shouts at the moon, she's gone, and fear has overcome. He was walking the mile. He was walking alone. So outrageous the toll. You can lose all you have. He refused to give in to the town doesn't end the way we want all the time. When he shouts at the moon, she's gone, and fear has overcome. He was walking the mile. He was walking alone. 420 dead birds, they bleed upon the nest. There was no time for reasons. They had no sign of the threat. Now it's too late for me. This town will eventually take me. Too late for me. This town will win. Through this fog they came along. Dark creatures singing a terrible song. The rest of the bar laughed at him. Only I felt my own crept in. They found him dead the very next day. No more stories from him, I heard him say. We blamed bad luck for his fate. Only I felt terror so great. She and he will know that someday all things will end. That misty night, that dismal moon, the dead search for their kin, while angels sleep in endless dark. The dead seek out sin.
And here's our ranking screen: normal ending, extreme X action level, hard riddle level, an hour 7 completion time. There are boss times there. The only one we went over the 2-star ranking was the split worm, because there's just so much fucking RNG with the handgun strategy. Enemies defeated there, and there we go, 0 total damage taken. It's not too bad of a run, to be honest. Like, by the time you get to Extreme X from 1 through 9, I think you should be pretty, well suited to the game. By the way, to unlock Extreme X, first you need to beat the game on hard action level to unlock Extreme 1, and then you need to beat each Extreme to unlock the next one. So beating Extreme 1 unlocks Extreme 2, beating 2 unlocks 3 until you get to Extreme X. Just keep in mind you need to play on a new game, not extra new game, to get a no damage run. Otherwise you will take AoE damage in the underpass. Just something to keep in mind. And your reward for beating the game on Extreme X is the Gangster Girl costume, which is the God of Thunder outfit, which everyone and their grandma knows by now. But if you wanted to get it legit, the only way to do so, and if you're not going to read a magazine from the time or read the code on the internet, the only way to get it legit is to beat Extreme X. So yeah, that is Silent Hill 3, played on Extreme X action level, hard riddle level, on PC with no damage. I hope you enjoyed that, you found it entertaining, and I hope I catch you in the next one with runs for Silent Hill 1, 2, and 4, and maybe some of the later Silent Hill games as well. Alright, take it easy. Peace.